There is a financial tie to these riots that actually leads right back to the Communist Chinese Party. The Communist Chinese Party. The Communist Chinese Party. You are working with an organization and rally that has ties to the Chinese Progressive Association, pro-Maoist, pro-Maoist, pro-Maoist.
If you weren't such a treasonous governor supporting sanctuary laws in the state of New York, this little girl would be alive today.
That is sanctuary policy in a nutshell. That is what is so wrong why the American people hate this concept.
We have no idea how many known terrorists are in our country.
You are sanctuary cities. You do violate the law.
Free healthcare, free college and driver's licenses for illegals while handcuffing law enforcement when they're trying to protect our citizens and their communities. You shouldn't be governor.
올해 6월 미국 로스앤젤레스에서는 불법 이민 단속에 반대하는 대규모 폭력 시위가 벌어졌습니다. 미국 이민세관 단속국 아이스가 불법 체류자 단속을 이유로 무분별한 압수수색을 벌였다는 게 촉발점이었는데요. 하지만 시위의 일부는 폭동으로 번졌고 트럼프 대통령은 캘리포니아주 방위군과 해병대까지 투입했습니다. 그 결정은 전국적인 논란을 불러왔지만 최근 시카고에서도 같은 일이 반복되었습니다. LA와 시카고의 공통점은 바로 불법 체류자를 보호하는 소위 생츄어리주 대표 도시라는 점입니다. 여기에는 캘리포니아주, 일리노이주, 뉴욕주와 미네소타주도 포함이 됩니다. 이런 주정부의 기본 입장은 이렇습니다. 폭력이나 중범죄 같은 형사사건은 연방정부와 협조하지만 이민신분이 불법인 상태 자체는 연방법상의 행정위반, 즉 민사사안이기 때문에 주정부는 법원의 영장이 없는 한 아이스의 단속이나 구금 요청에 협조하지 않아도 되고 불법 체류자의 개인정보 제공도 거부할 수 있다는 입장입니다. 이번 8시간 반 청문회에는 뉴욕, 일리노이, 미네소타 주지사들이 직접 소환되어 하원들의 거센 질의를 받았습니다. 이 민주당 주지사들은 이런 정책을 생츄어리, 즉 피난처라고 부르지 않습니다. 연방이 불법 이민 단속이 지역 차원에서 막힌다는 지적 자체를 부인하기 때문입니다. 하지만 공화당 측은 정책의 내용 자체가 불법 이민자들을 보호하는 역할을 하므로 그게 생츄어리 정책이 맞다라고 반박합니다. 공화당 의원들이 생츄어리 정책과 불법 이민을 비판하는 이유는 크게 5가지로 정리됩니다. 그중 첫 번째 이유, 무엇보다 미국 시민의 안전이 직접 위협받고 있다는 점입니다. 말조리 테일러 그린 의원은 불법 이민자들이 저지른 여러 범죄 사례를 언급하면서 뉴욕 주지사 캐티 호쿠를 공격했습니다.
Governor Hochul, did you swear an oath to faithfully uphold New York's Constitution and laws?
I certainly did.
In 2017, New York became a sanctuary state when Governor Cuomo signed Executive Order 170. Do you support this law as governor of New York?
Yes, this pertains to civil enforcement.
So you do enforce sanctuary policies of New York?
I support helping law enforcement and ICE when it comes to...
Thank you. I reclaim my time. You support sanctuary policies that have led to the horrific murder of people, Americans. This Fox News got it wrong. It should say monster. Arrested in broad daylight rape of a 13-year-old in a New York park. This girl was raped at knife point in the park near New York Mets Stadium. That's your state, Governor Hochul. New York Post also got it wrong and called him a migrant. That's a monster. Busted in brutal beating of New York PD cops in Times Square are members of bloodthirsty Trinde Aragua gangs. Also, Governor Hochul, do you recognize this image?
Yes.
Where a homeless woman was burned alive by an illegal alien monster, where you uphold the laws to protect these monsters in your state, and then you force the New York citizens that pay taxes to pay for these people. This is the result of your sick and disgusting treasonous laws that you uphold as governor.
New York is not a
I
sanctuary
didn't
state for
recognize you,
criminals.
Ms. Hochul. This is my time. Do you know the name Laken Riley? Do you know the name
I
Laken
do.
Riley?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do. Jose Ibarra murdered 22-year-old Laken Riley. He's an illegal alien monster from Venezuela, convicted of 10 charges. He was first arrested by the Biden administration that you stated that you support. Joe Biden for president, right? Proud Democrat, Governor Hochul. First arrested at the border and released by the Democrats that you support. Then, guess what? He made it to New York because the Biden administration flew illegals all over the country, and your state was one that accepted them. He lived at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Queens, an upscale hotel that was turned into an illegal alien shelter at the taxpayer's expense. $2 million a month. went to this hotel. The second time he was arrested was in the state of New York for endangering a child. But he was released quickly before ICE could even issue a detainer. Because you support those laws, Governor Hochul. Then, this is shocking. He flew from the state of New York to my home state in Georgia, and you all paid for it. Why? Because it was reticketing, and that was the little gift that you were giving my state by sending monsters there. Costs the state of New York $5 to $10 million a day to feed and house illegals. Are you smiling at me about this?
No, I'm not.
You look like you got quite a smile on your face.
No.
Because I can tell you
Gentlelady
people-
will not.
this is my time, reclaiming my
order.
time.
I'm thinking about
attack the witness.
Don't you dare
Don't attack the
smile
witness.
about the murder of
No, I'm
Lake and
thinking about
Riley.
her parents.
The third
Don't
time,
question
the
how I
third
look.
time, Jose
My heart is
Ibarra-
breaking for her
My
parents.
time, Governor Hochul. The third time he was arrested was in the sanctuary city of Athens, another Democrat policy. And then he went on and attempted to rape Laken Riley and murdered her. This little girl right here, she would be alive today if you weren't such a treasonous governor supporting sanctuary laws in the state of New York. This little girl would be alive today, and her mother very much would like for her to be alive. This is outrageous for anybody in this country to support for non-citizens to be able to come in our country, be able to travel wherever they want, and then make taxpayers pay to house them, feed them, and then give them a plane ticket after they had been arrested in their state. That's what you did. You are responsible for the murder of this little girl, Laken Riley, and the Department of Justice should prosecute you for her murder.
Objection. Objection.
I don't care how much you
objection.
object, and if you
Objection.
support it too,
Objection.
you're responsible for her murder.
이에 호쿨 뉴욕 주지사는 생츄어리 정책은 오직 민사에만 해당되며 형사 사건이나 범죄의 경우엔 언제나 이민 단속국 아이스와 협력한다는 것을 다시 한번 강조합니다.
I'm so sorry for what happened to her. I truly am what happened. But this has nothing to do with our civil enforcement of the laws. We are always cooperating with criminal investigations, always have, always will. So misstating our policies is not serving the purpose of making sure we have meaningful policies that'll actually move the dime. Why aren't we working together to come up with meaningful immigration reform, secure our borders?
하지만 짐 졸단 의원은 이를 정면으로 반박했습니다. 의원은 뉴욕주의 한 카운티의 사례를 통해 생츄어리 정책이 민사 영역에만 적용된다는 주장과 달리 실제로는 형사 사건에서도 불법 이민자 범죄자를 보호하는 결과로 이어지고 있다고 지적했습니다.
Governor Hochul, third paragraph, second sentence in your written testimony, you said New York State cooperates with U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement in criminal cases. Governor, who's Jesus Romero Hernandez?
Thank you. I want to reaffirm that we do cooperate in cases where
That wasn't the question. Who is Jesus Romero Hernandez?
I don't have the details on every
I'll
single
tell you.
person in a state of 20 million people.
I understand, but this guy's a citizen of Mexico, deported 7 times, came to your state, assaulted one of your residents with a machete, choked a police officer, then when he was in custody, assaulted a corrections officer. ICE finds out this guy is in your state's custody, and they send you a detainer. You're familiar with a detainer, right?
Yes, I am.
Immigration detainer to Tompkins County Jail from Syracuse Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. So they got the right guy, and a court has said he needs to go. Any idea what Tompkins County Jail decided to do with that detainer order?
I will tell you this, the state
No,
of
it's a specific question.
Well, I'm
what
telling you-
did Tompkins County do?
the descriptions you have put forth are absolutely chilling and disturbing and
course they are.
reprehensible to all of us.
Which
My job is to
which
protect
is
the
why
people
I'm
of
asking
New
the
York.
question. What
And
did
this-
Tompkins County do?
What I have
I
responsibility
will tell
for
you,
are
since you're not going to
state
answer,
courts,
we
state
cannot
police.
and will not hold Mr. Hernandez. In fact, Tompkins County tells ICE, we're not going to hold this guy. 7 minutes later, ICE responds back, we will be there to take custody this evening. 24 minutes later, Thompson County reiterates, we're not going to have him. We're not going to turn him over. 10:45, ICE arrives at the jail. 1 hour and 18 minutes later, and guess what? Mr. Hernandez is not there. They couldn't wait 1 hour and 18 minutes for a guy who assaulted one of your residents with a machete, choked a police officer, and then when in custody, assaulted corrections officers. That is sanctuary policy in a nutshell, and that is what your state supports, and so do these other governors. That is what is so wrong, why the American people hate this concept.
You're conflating what the state of New York does. I control state police and prisons. We have turned over 1,300 people.
So you disagree with it?
We turn over
Did the sheriff
1,300
make the wrong
people.
call?
Those are local policies that we would not have done in the state of New York. They are in conflict with what the state of New York would do.
Well, maybe they're scared. By the way, he is a Democrat sheriff. Maybe the county guys are a little scared because you said this. You said we have some counties that are renegade counties and work with ICE. Maybe they're nervous of being called a renegade county by their governor. So the Democrat sheriff says, we're not going to keep him here for you to get here. We can't even wait an hour and 18 minutes. You know what else was interesting? There was actually an arrest warrant from United States District Court. And you won't say that's wrong?
I have said we cooperate when there's a criminal case where someone has committed a crime. We turn them over.
This is sanctuary policy in a nutshell. You won't even condemn something that anyone with common sense knows is ridiculous.
자, 생츄어리 정책과 불법 이민을 반대하는 두 번째 이유. 단순 치안의 문제를 넘어서 국가 안보가 위협당한다는 점입니다. 파머 의원은 불법 이민이 테러 조직과 갱단 그리고 마약까지 끌어들이고 있다며 국경 통제 실패를 안보 위기로 규정했습니다.
The Customs Border Patrol reported just in fiscal year 23, 736 encounters with illegal aliens with ties to terrorist organizations. And there's over 2.2 million estimated gotaways. We have no idea how many known terrorists are in our country. Do you support the arrest and deportation of illegal aliens with ties to terrorist organizations? So yes or no?
Anyone involved in a crime, we
Ma'am,
cooperate.
yes or no?
We cooperate when
Ma'am,
any
yes
crimes
or
are-
no?
We cooperate with any
You cannot
crimes.
give a straight answer, and the answer is you're giving safe harbor to people with ties to terrorist organizations, such as MS-13, Tren de Aragua, Brown Pride Azteca, Barrios Azteca, Serenos, which is otherwise known as SIR-13, and the 18th Street Gang. Those are designated terrorist organizations. These are the people responsible for bringing fentanyl in that's killed, along with other drugs, killed over 100,000 people per year. We're no longer in a war on drugs. We're involved in a war with drugs. These are casualties. Are you aware that the Department of Homeland Security identified over 400 illegal aliens who were smuggled into the United States with the help of an affiliate of ISIS? Does that raise any concern for you?
None of us want terrorists in this country.
Then why are you shielding people here from being picked up by ICE agents, referring to this as a Gestapo organization? There are people in this country who are here with the full intent to do us harm. They came across our borders illegally.
생츄어리 정책과 불법 이민에 반대하는 세 번째 이유, 바로 세금으로 불법을 보조하고 있다는 점입니다. 생츄어리 주들은 불법 체류자에게 의료, 교육, 운전면허까지 지원하기 때문에 결국 불법 입국을 하면 합법보다 더 이익이 된다는 잘못된 메시지를 준다는 지적입니다.
Governor Walz, you signed the Health and Human Services Omnibus Bill into law in May of 2023. That bill expanded Minnesota Care to provide free health care to illegal aliens. You signed the Higher Education Omnibus Bill into law in May of 2023. That bill allows illegals to have their college tuition paid for by the state. You signed the Driver's License for All Act into law in March of 2023, and that bill allows illegals to receive driver's licenses. So, you claim you're not a sanctuary state, you just provide free health care, free college, and driver's licenses to illegal aliens. If you think that's not a sanctuary state, you shouldn't be governor. By turning Minnesota into a magnet for illegals, you have opened up our communities to dangerous criminals, including known terrorists, gang members, murderers, and child predators. You have sent a resounding message that if you're a hardworking, law-abiding citizen of Minnesota, your safety and well-being are not the priorities of Tim Walz and his administration. But if you're coming to our state illegally, you're not only welcome with open arms, you're entitled to free stuff on the taxpayer's dime. This is absolutely disgraceful. You have failed to enforce the rule of law. You have failed to uphold our national sovereignty.
생츄어리 정책에 반대하는 네 번째 이유, 바로 법과 헌법 질서를 무시하고 있다는 점입니다. 불법 입국 자체가 연방 이민법 위반으로 형사범죄에 해당합니다. 그런데 미국 헌법의 수프리메시 클로스, 즉 최고법 조항에 따르면 연방법과 주법이 충돌할 경우 연방법이 우선 적용되는데요. 그렇다면 각 주가 자체적으로 시행하는 생츄어리 법은 결국 위헌적 조치라는 비판이 나오는 이유입니다.
As soon as an alien crosses the border illegally, they become criminals under the federal law. Governors or sanctuary policies blatantly ignore the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution. and it circumvents federal immigration laws to harbor criminals. As of July 2024, under the Biden-Harris administration, there were over 660,000 illegal aliens with criminal histories. Once you violate the law by entering our country illegally, you're aiding and abetting criminal illegal aliens, which is a felony under Title 8 U.S. Code 1324, punishable up to 20 years in prison or life in prison or even the death penalty if aiding and abetting results in someone's death, which this committee and all Americans know has happened.
You responded Illinois has a constitutionally protected choice not to assist federal authorities with deportation. Give me the constitutional reference you're making there. When you guys say we do give these people information only on a criminal warrant, is there any distinction in 8 U.S.C. 1373A, 1324, 1324C that says, yeah, you don't have to give information, you don't have to provide the body, you don't have to respond to the ICE detainer? Is there anything in there that says there's a distinction between the criminal law, the criminal warrant, the criminal detainer, and a civil warrant, civil detainer? Is there anything in there? The answer is no. I'll answer for you. You do violate the law. You are sanctuary cities. You are actually committing a federal crime every time someone does that, because you don't have the authority under federal law or under the Constitution to negate even a civil warrant for someone who's violated a federal offense when you get a detainer notice.
다섯 번째 이유, 이번 청문회에서 가장 논란이 된 주장이었는데요. 이건 불법 이민 찬반의 문제가 아니라 불법 이민 이슈를 이용해 폭동과 사회 분열을 조장하는 세력, 그 배후에 바로 중국 공산당과 연계된 조직이 있다는 겁니다. 안나 파울리나 르나 의원은 이민 단속에 반대하는 폭력 시위를 주도하는 단체들 뒤에 중국 공산당과 연계된 자금 흐름이 있다고 주장했습니다.
First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to educate the American people on what's really happening right now with these riots. So I see right now there's a lot of back and forth and finger pointing, but the fact is that there is a financial tie to these riots, tied to immigration, that actually leads right back to the Communist Chinese Party. The LA riots have been organized by an organization dubbed PSL, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, funded by billionaire Chinese activist Neville Singham, who spends parts of his year by living in Shanghai. In addition to that, although he is not a registered foreign agent, he accepts a lot of money from the CCP and then turns around and funnels it right into some of these violent protests that we're seeing. But it doesn't just stop there. This is not the only organized protest that's using brown people and immigrants as a ruse to push their communist and Marxist agenda. Mr. Waltz, is it true, yes or no, that you are speaking at the June 14th Twin Cities No King rally?
I can't confirm that right now. That
Okay.
could be true.
Okay. Just so you know, they're advertising you speaking there.
Okay.
The graphic's actually on X right now. I'd be happy to provide it for you, so I'll take that as probably speaking. Is it true on your campaign that you had admitted to visiting China anywhere from 15 to 30 times, sir? Yes or no, please?
I did live in
Okay.
China. And
No, visiting, sir, in addition to living there and in addition
Yes,
to having, okay.
that's correct.
All right, also too, I'd like to note that during your time in Congress that you filed for a $5 million earmark that actually was secured. $2 million of it went to the Harmel Institute that actually collaborated with the Wuhan Institute. Also, the Department of Homeland Security, sir, actually had an internal memo that was released that stated that the government of China considered you a prime target for influence operations. I'm letting you know that now because I do believe that you should be made aware of, if you are not already, that you are working with and going to be speaking at an organization and rally that not is just funded by Christy Walton, the heiress of Walmart, but also has ties to the Chinese Progressive Association, largely funding it, that actually brags on their website that they are pro-Maoist. So I guess my question for you guys is, now that I've made you aware that these riots are not about illegals and they're not about immigrants, if they did, they would have been protesting under Barack Obama, who's also dubbed the deporter-in-chief. And frankly, I think many of you would say that Barack Obama was a good president. Barack Obama had the very same policies, for the most part, on immigration that Republicans are parroting today, and yet you guys are sitting here saying that we're Gestapo. And what I would tell you is that what happens with open borders is that the real people that are coming here, the ones that are exploited, actually it hurts people on both sides, not just Americans, but the illegals. Some of you had said here that you are doing what you can to assist these people, but what I would say is that your policies aren't actually done from a place of understanding and sympathy. I would say that it's actually doing the exact opposite. And when you use brown people, just like they use use black people with BLM and Marxists during BLM to usher that in, when you use brown people and you put Mexican flags with them saying that you stand up for illegal immigrants, but you follow the money and it's going back to the Communist Party, what you're essentially doing is using your platform as elected officials, the trust that the American people have put in you, essentially to usher in communism. You're not actually fighting for American values. Don't roll your eyes, because it's a serious topic and that's where the money's coming from. So now I'm informing you, so now you guys can make your decisions, but please be informed, sir, Mr. Walls, that if you truly do uphold the American ideologies and perspectives on the Constitution, you should not be speaking at that rally. I've given you the correct information, and as of right now, I've authorized a letter to be sent to my office to the President of the United States to rescind millions of dollars in funding that we know are going to the No Kings protests that were authorized and basically given under the last administration. That is what Congress is supposed to do, not point fingers, not blame people, but actually ensure that the American people are protected and not fighting for foreign interests, foreign governments, and also the communist.
지금까지 불법 이민자 보호 정책과 불법 이민을 반대하는 이유 5가지를 살펴보셨습니다. 범죄로부터 시민의 안전을 지키고 테러리스트와 마약으로부터 국가를 지키며 세금이 불법 이민자 지원으로 낭비되지 않도록 막고 헌법과 법치 질서를 지키며 사회 혼란을 조장하는 중국 공산당의 개입을 막기 위해서입니다. 자, 여러분은 불법 이민자에 대한 보호 어디까지 허용되어야 한다고 생각하시나요? 여러분의 생각을 댓글로 남겨주시고 구독과 좋아요, 알림 설정까지 해주시면 영상을 만드는 데 큰 힘이 됩니다.